All right, man. Hey, everyone. What's going on? So today, what we are going to do, we are going to attempt to do these front brakes on this Super B. We are going to preserve as much as possible. So this is a 68 Dodge Super B, family owned for over 54 years. 31,000 and some change miles. I think 31,500, 31,300, somewhere around there. It's a beautiful car. These are original brakes, never been off. They are pulling hard to one side, which just suggests they need adjustment, but the pedal is getting a little bit low, which may suggest either wheel cylinders or master cylinder. So we're just gonna tear into this. We're gonna keep the same drums. We're not doing any conversions. So like I said, we're gonna try and keep it as original as possible. We'll get the drums turned if we can. We'll replace the shoes and replace what parts need to be replaced. We'll get it reassembled and get the car back on the road. So let's take a look at what we got. I'll give you guys a quick view of the car. And if you're wondering about the stripe was removed actually after my dad bought the car, and it was never replaced. So we do have a replacement stripe. Yeah, we got the front wheels off already. And we got the dust cap pulled. This is the driver's side, as you can see. Dodges are a little bit unique, or Chrysler products, if you will. I didn't realize the driver's side is a left-hand thread, passenger side is a right-hand thread. So had to reach out to my Mopar friends on Facebook I posed that question because I was having a little bit of trouble getting that side off, so we got it off. Again, a way to remember that is on the driver's side, goes to the right, righty-tighty, righty-loosey. It goes to the rear of the car, and on the left side, it turns to the rear of the car. So each way gets the lug nut off. So we'll get this off. We're gonna probably have to use a brake spoon to loosen up the tension of the brake shoe from the drum, because it's tight on this side, so we can freely get that hub off, or the drum off. And the other side is a looser, but we'll see when we get to it. But hopefully it won't be that difficult. This was my father's car, but to my knowledge, he's never did a brake job on this. So anyways, I thought I'd share that. So we're gonna get those off, adjust and loosen up that drum, and back off the brake shoes off the drum, and we'll show how to adjust that. We're gonna do that with a brake spoon. This tool right here, and we just get in there and start moving it. Now I'm not sure if it's up or down, but we'll let you know which way to go. I wanted to add an old school line lock for a drum brake car. The old trick was if you didn't have line lock, you would loosen up your rear brakes. You'd spoon them to where when you applied your brake, that the shoe would not come in contact with, or minimal contact with the drum, and you would just snug up your front ones a little bit, just to where it's a little firm to turn. So when you applied the brakes, and this is for the old foot brake racers, you applied your brakes, you lock up your front, but you can still spin the rear tire. So little tidbit of information there. That's how they did it back in the old days, to do your line lock for drag racing or street racing. All right, so we are on the driver's side of the front left brake, and we didn't really show you in the first vid about pulling this dust cover off, so it's not that complicated, but we'll show you how we did it just with a basic screwdriver, maybe a putty knife. This side rotates relatively good or loose. We may have to adjust it to get the drum off, but let's see if we can get away without. So just gently get in here, kind of work this cap off. Sometimes you gotta manipulate it. You see it got moved there, so we got a screwdriver, putty knife. I don't think it's going to be strong enough. And it's simple as that. This is relatively easy, actually easier than the other side. Get to a point where you should be able to just pop it off. There we go. Just like that. We'll get that cotter pin out. Get the nut off. See if we can pull the drum. So we actually got this straightened out by prying the bottom of the cotter pin out. Doing the same with the top, and then just kind of beating it down a little bit. Then of course you can get your pliers on it. So this time we're using a small pair of vice grips. It seems we can manipulate it a little bit better. Just trying to get that bumped up. And pull it straight out just like that. Yeah, it was easy. Actually, this came off much easier than the other side. We're just trying to keep all this stuff together. It looks like it's still well greased. Yeah, these look like they might come off easy. So front bearings are tapered in. Yeah, we may have to loosen that up, looks like. So that's what we're going to do next. Adjust that adjuster up to get those brake shoes off the surface of the drum. We're going to pull this other cover off, and then we should be able to get to it. Whoa, that one came right off. We'll get this up on the table. These things are not light. So just to aid us in a removal of the shoes, I had to pick up some spring pliers by Performance Tool, part number W175. These are also purchased at Advance Auto, and they're basically called spring pliers. So this is my first time, guys, so let's see how this goes. So we have our handy dandy Smart Electrician rechargeable lights. I'll get the link in my description, but I use these a lot. They're magnetic on the end. You can just place them how you want. They got 3 settings of power. I usually run it on the lowest, and it helps a lot, tremendously. So we're gonna get these springs off. I'm gonna get the camera set up. All right, hopefully you guys got a good view there. Could be doing this ass backwards. Directions are telling me to do the lower ends first, but I'm going to pull the top ones off. See how that works. We're going to take this end of the tool, we're going to put it in there, and we're going to basically get that spring lifted off that pin. Likewise, we're going to twist this up. Not so handy dandy, but let's see. Looks like we gotta do it this way. All right. The springs are still in excellent shape. Just for reference, these springs are exactly the same. Exactly the same. We have one more spring on the bottom. So it appears the top one goes in the larger hole. This grabs the spring. I don't know if you can see it from there. We'll try and get a good camera angle for you. This hook's on the spring, and then the top jaw kind of gets in the hole, and then you squeeze the shit out of it. Looks like this left side is about ready to come off. Maybe we are doing it the right way. Here we go. We got it. That was on the inside. Alright, if you look close, you can see the slot, horizontal, and then the spring, it's like a little locking mechanism. So we have to push the spring in and twist the slot to relieve the spring to get the shoe off. So we are going to do that. We'll get the camera reset up, get some live action. So again, this is my first time, honestly, doing shoes. Believe it or not, but it's a learning experience. That's part of this channel. You guys watch me, and sometimes it's not always perfect, but there we go. There's your 54-year-old brake shoe. I would say those are about toast, and one side more than the other. But look at this hardware. It's a little oxidized, not bad. The springs are in great shape. Still got the paint on them. Huh. That's just cool. Look at this. Yeah, baby. All right, we'll get the other one off. That one's a little more manageable. Here's the pin. The pin looks like it's probably the worst of it all. And, yeah, this shoe is like just glazed over like crazy. Well, there you have it. So this is going to be another adventure here about taking this off. So on the back side of the wheel cylinder, there's a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter bolt. We need to get that off first. So the wheel cylinder on the opposite side, there's another 13 millimeters. So we're going to use a 1/2 inch because it appears to be just slightly smaller, and it's probably the correct size. The brake hose we're going to remove with a 5/8. Now both of those, we put some bolt blaster on, or nut blaster, whatever you want to call it, to help loosen up. We're going to let that set for a little bit. Also, the brake hose, where it connects, we did spray some bolt blaster. That's 3/8 size nut. We're going to get that hose off. There's a clip holding it. That's going to remove. There's a C clip on the bottom. We can't see it with the lighting. Let's see if we can move it. Yeah, there's your C clip on the bottom. We'll get that off, get that hose off. So we got new hoses coming for the front. We're going to have new hardware for the wheel cylinder, and that should complete the total disassembly. But we'll get these loosened up for you guys, just give you an idea. Now you're going to want a reservoir because that front cylinder is going to drain out as soon as we release that. So we want to catch that fluid, and then once we're set and done with everything, because we are going to replace the master cylinder, we will put the .3 or the synthetic brake fluid that doesn't remove paint. All right, so we got our 5/8. We already broke this loose, and we did it by holding this wrench firmly and then just giving a quick smack with a milling hammer. So it looks like we're not going to be able to do this without loosening the other side, because it's going to wrap that hose around and around. So we'll go ahead and get the hose from the opposite side. All right, so to get this hose off, we need to get the brake line off. We have a flare-in wrench. This is 3/8. It has more points on it. It'll grab that nut a little better. So it just kind of slips over the line and gets down on it. Oh gosh, it's slipping. That's not good. I don't think we're going to be able to get this off. This sucks. Those nuts are soft. Yeah, buddy. That's what happens when you work with old stuff. Yeah, she's totally, and we got the nut buster on there too, or bolt buster. Penetrating fluid, nut buster. Okay, so anyways, yeah, this doesn't look good for the Project 54. What are we gonna do with this crap? We did give it a jolt a few times. The only other opportunity is put some vice grips on it and end up cutting it off and replace that whole line. So our option is just to cut this line. We can actually get once we get room to get a tube cutter on there, we will reflare it. Or just replace the whole damn line. probably end up replacing that line. There's no reason to keep that shit on there anyways. All right, we got her cut. I need to get my little pliers to get that C-clamp off, and then we can proceed. Oh, hopefully you guys can see this. This is all goobered up too. Rusted and crap, so I don't know what kind of luck we're gonna have getting this off, but we'll see. I'm just gonna let's see if we can't pop that C clip off. Like I said, what kind of rusted shit. This is why I like the Mustang, right? Just can't see under here very well. I don't think we're gonna get it that way, and I don't know how I'm gonna get pliers up in there. All right, there is another clip on the top. So let's pull that off and see where that gets us. We managed to work that out with a screwdriver. So let's see if we can just get a little bite on this. There we go. All right, that gets us loose. This was the clip we were trying to get off on the bottom. We just couldn't get to. So this may be manageable. So we'll move and finish removing this hose. Let's see if you guys can see this. All right, we move the camera view on a stand, and we'll finish getting this left hose off. Now, like I said, we did get these reordered. I ordered these through Rock Auto. So, yep, it just hand screws off. Voila. It gets us off the wheel cylinder. And then we have one more bolt to get right below. I believe that was a 1/2 inch. Another now again, I'm gonna give this a whack. Seem to do it. And these wrenches will grip. You can see how they're notched on the inside, so they bite just for such an occasion. So I didn't realize digging into this how much work this was going to get into, but it's all good. This car needed it. I probably saved myself $1,000. I currently have about maybe $120 wrapped up in parts, including the sandblasting. That was $20 per hub. I didn't include the Pour 15 because I purchased that in 2003. Then it was $35, $36 a quart. A little goes a long way, but and it lasts forever. So I think you guys get it. We're going to finish getting this bolt off. All right, we are off. Yay. Spend a little time cleaning this up. We'll get the majority of it cleaned, degreased, and then get it ready for assembly. So that'll conclude the disassembly of the front brakes. on the 68 Coronet Super B. We will not show you the passenger side because it's a rinse and repeat. So there's no reason really to go through it and watch the agony that we got to do to go through it. Hopefully this side will be more cooperative, but we will replace the necessary parts to get this puppy back together. So our next video is going to be around reassembly of this. So guys, hope you like this. Hope there's some learning. I got some learning. It's been years since I've done a brake job. So guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a great day and take care.